Hello, our friends.
Hello again.
Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Here we go again. So we were just talking about CMEs and January 6th impact. And we have this Trump tweet.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't the president. This is Donald Jr. Does anybody have the Vegas line on when the power goes out in Georgia tomorrow night? Wow, what a statement.
No, why would he say something like that?
I know when the lights go out in Georgia, and I've been having that boom boom.
You have had that song a lot, yeah.
Out go the lights.
So much so that I opened with the last show with it.
You did, and yeah, it's just, is it foreshadowing? Part of the script?
Yeah.
Part of everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. If you just read the headlines, like if you go over to Drudge and look at the headlines, there is such a tit for tat, to say the least, going on.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, they're making everything so confusing and inverted and twisted. And can it get much worse? I'm sure it can.
And by the way, there will be a speech by Senior tonight. And I'm actually going to skip the link there, but it's off of Twitter. So there is going to be a speech tonight that people might want to listen to. It's up to you. Everybody's got their rights to do whatever they want.
They do, but I'm wondering, with the media the way it is, where's he going to speak? Who's he going to speak to? Because no one will put him on the news.
That's true, too. It was interesting because somebody had said in a comment, why do you look at NASA when you know it's fake? Well, it's because it's all part of the script.
Yes.
Because, it's all being telegraphed, of course. I mean, if you didn't look at NASA at all, maybe you wouldn't know there's a double CME inbound. Mm-hmm. It's just par for the course. You have to check things out. In warfare, for instance, you watch what your enemy says. Just like, let's switch it from warfare. Let's play chess. Chess is a great game. I love chess because you want to show one thing when you're really thinking about something different. But at the same time, if you don't watch every move, you're going to get blindsided. I mean, that's kind of obvious. That's just basic. From my sparring days, and doing some fighting martial arts, you always faint, and you watch for what, the opposition's doing. So, maybe you do lead with, a double jab, and then next time you feint the jab, you come with a cross, or you come, with a rear leg roundhouse kick or a hook kick to the head. It's all about how things are being set up, looking deep into it, and trying to gain the better picture of what's really going on. Because again, if we just sit, if we do the old stork thing and just stick our head in the sand and say la 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 la, nothing's happening, obviously the train will still come down the tracks and just run us over, or the wolves will be at the door ready for their meal, or the mountain lion, as we were so close to.
Right, exactly. We really need to take a look at things and at least use our own discernment, use our own thoughts, not just ignore stuff as if it's not happening.
So I see this, and this is a buzz going on out there right now in some venues, and supposedly the 1776 flag is being flown. Now, I don't see any pictures of it, so I tend to take that as, with a grain of salt, right? But at the same time, you got to look at the bigger picture going on, and this is from Parlor, as you see there. The T train and the cavalry is coming. It's obvious what's happening here. There's two trains on a collision course that are going down the same track that are going to just ram into each other.
Just like we had all those other train crashes, literally like last week.
That's true. There's been derailments going on as well. There's so much symbolism in this world. And this is part of the holographic matrix that we're living in. The executive order here, this was interesting. I hadn't seen this before. And this came out on November 2nd, one day before November 3rd, which we all know what that was, right?
Well, yeah, we all know what that was. That was Election Day.
A day that will live in infamy, just like, Pearl Harbor. When you really look deeply, so the flag, the 1776 flag thing, that could be total BS. But at the same time, you got this out there, which is really interesting. I found this super interesting. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, in order to better enable a rising generation to understand the history and the principles of the founding of the United States in 1776. And through this, form a more perfect union, hereby ordered as follows. It's basically a commission that says that they're going to try to get out to the public what the founding of the country was all about in the first place. This country does not even vaguely represent what was set out originally. Basically, it was a republic, and it was to be a loose governmental structure, a minimal governmental structure, as little as possible. Really, it was all about being unified so that if England wanted to come and take, the U.S. over again, they would be together. They would have their unity, their economic and military basis to repel any sort of, conquest. It wasn't about what we have now, which is, it's nothing close to it. So from that standpoint, I think this is a good thing, because I think most people don't have a clue. Most people don't, it's sad. Most people can't even name the 50 states. Most people don't even know the, say, 20 or 25 state capitals. Most people can't even name probably half of the countries on a map. The lack of knowledge and understanding is just so sad. It really, really is. And so it leads to manipulation, because if you don't understand what was, it's harder to understand how you got to where you are now.
And it is important to look at things through different lenses, through different perspectives, different points of view. And, if we can learn more through this, then I think it's more than worth it.
So the American founding envisioned a political order in harmony with the design of the laws of nature and the natures of nature's God, seeing the rights to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness as embodied in and sanctioned by natural law and its traditions. Formation of a republic around these principles marked a clear departure from previous forms of government, securing rights through a form of government that derives its legitimate power from the consent of the governed. Yeah, from the consent of the governed. That has totally gone. Throughout its national life, a republic's exploration of the full meaning of these principles has led it through ratification of a constitution, civil war, and the abolition of slavery. Reconstruction, which was a banker's dream, and many thought PLAN, and that was what it was all really about, 1871. And a series of domestic crises and world conflicts. Those events established a clear historical record of an exceptional nation dedicated to the ideas and ideals of its founding. And basically, again, he gets into the fact that the country's been hijacked in a sense. It's become something it wasn't intended to be. So it's critical that we change the education of the masses so they understand what it was originally supposed to be. So he's got a commission, the President's Advisory 1776 Commission, within 120 days of that order back in November, November 2nd. So this will take us to like February 2nd, roughly. Will establish the Department of Education, the President's Advisory 1776 Commission, to better enable a rising generation to understand the history and principles of the founding of the United States in 1776, and to strive and form a more perfect union. And it goes on, and it gets into who is going to be in charge and controlling this, including the Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of the Interior, Secretary of Housing, Urban Development, Secretary of Education, the Assistant to the President for Domestic Policy, and the Assistant to the President for Intergovernmental Affairs. And it goes into, more about educating the masses as to what the country was supposed to look like, because it's not even vaguely what it was supposed to look like. And so that was signed by the current president on November 2nd, 2020. Very curious. Isn't that curious? Because, you know, as we said, I think it feels at this point inevitable that there is a divorce gonna happen.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with this. Hopefully there'll be more positive change, and it's not just going to be a bunch of writing and a nothing burger. I'm hoping it's going to be, well, like I said before, just a lot of positive change, because we certainly need it.
Well, we do need positive change, but the bottom line is that this country is so divided. There's no way it's staying intact, and of course, there's forces at hand here too. Some want to keep it intact, but turn it into something that more resembles what we see over in the Far East in a global system. And then there's others, that want to break it down. And then there's wolves that are ready to pounce, because when an animal is wounded, even if it was, say, a wounded elephant, being so massive and strong, where the lions might not try to attack it out there. If it was strong, when it's wounded, then they might pounce. And it's the same thing that we've been talking about. By the way, the U.S. Attorney for North Georgia resigns effective immediately. There's lots of things going on here. And Mayor Bowser over in D.C. is requesting support of the National Guard for January 6th. And let's send our prayers out to Kay Granger, who has been diagnosed with the plague upon the land, as, she hopefully will get better, so we'll send prayers. And it's not just that we're sending prayers out to a certain party, because I was kind of shocked and surprised to see some people make comments. All human lives are precious, so if the left-right thing has got you to the point where you're wishing ill on the other side, then there's a problem within.
There's a big problem, because it's all about humanity. It's team humanity and helping each other through this and helping each other open our eyes and just get better in every way.
And there's a reason why we've been showing, these. If you can't pick up on it, then, you're not paying attention close enough. Because I know a lot of people get the bigger picture here in this play, this drama that we are watching unfold right before our very eyes. As we had said before, at the Galactics on August 6th said, prepare yourselves, brace. This is going to be shocking. So we are now entering that time period. We have a couple more days to prepare for impact. As the CMEs are coming, and as we had said, now they even tell us the CMEs might happen to join together and create a more powerful one.
Right.
Yeah.
So very curious what we have going on and all the synchronicities and stuff.
So interesting following this script.
It's fun.
So guys, be prepared out there. As always, please make sure you're subscribed. Click the bell for notifications. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.